This one is about a trip. I wanted to take a trip in the electric car. So I went down to California. I'm starting out in Washington, going through Oregon and into Central California. About a 1,000-mile trip one way. So I went 2,000 miles on this trip. And I wanted to see what it was like to do it in an electric car. Now it was an interesting time. Well, there's some good and bad about it. But this video here is just kind of a overview of what happened. I ran between 65 and 70 miles an hour for most of the trip. A few places I had a little lower speed limit that I ran on. And charging stations ideally were between 120 and 140 miles. That did not always work out so well. I had one that was 170 miles, and I managed to do that okay. But the trip took 2 days each way, and I made 500 miles each day. Now, with a gas car, if I want to push it hard, I can make it in 17 hours. But you're not going to do that in an electric car because you're waiting for charging. So what I did, I went down I-5, which is it's not the shortest way, it's a way that actually has charging stations on it. Charging stations are a challenge for these things still. But the car performed beautifully. It's a Chevy Bolt. Bought it about 4 or 5 months ago. It's actually a very good highway car. The seats, which I thought were going to be really uncomfortable, they looked that way, turned out to be pretty good. Not as good as the Ford Taurus, which is my other car, but pretty good. So I went on this trip, and I'll do another video on charging stations and the different brands of charging stations and some of the challenges of charging in another video on this thing. But let's suffice it to say for this one, great car performance and so-so charging. Not the best. Kind of what I expected. Anyway, that's it on this one, and stay tuned. I'll start taking this thing apart in the next video or two.